Alright, lovers, it's the year 2000, Happy New Year and all that. Computers didn't explode and the world didn't end. With a new millennium comes many new little things, like that dome, a new bridge over the Thames and a new entrance for the Royal Mile, and the Pentium 3 processor with lightning speeds of a gigahertz. Ah, but will it run City Skylines too? Oh yeah, you guys, we made it to the year 2000, and there are a few weird things, by the way, that I found out by doing this series. Stuff that feels like yesterday was a really long time ago, and the UK was really unhappy and violent between 1980 and the mid-2000s. But anyway, the big episode is upon us. This park has been growing exponentially for the last 70 years, and this entrance is no longer fit for purpose, and I mean woefully so. Like, I should have done so much stuff to this entrance and didn't, because I knew we were going to get a new entrance. So news that should surprise no one. We're getting a new entrance. It's just not going to be here. It's going to be over here. And guys, this is really daunting. This is a massive undertaking. Like, this is a huge project to do. It's literally the third of the park, but it is time to deal with the unpaved car park and the 1930s cars that are still in the car park. That's the first thing we're going to do, right? So this is all placeholder stuff at the moment. This is roughly what I am thinking. So I'm going for a La Ronde style entrance here, right? So I want some tickets, stuff down in the front here, and then there's going to be a turnstile area here. There's going to be a bunch of shops around, so this is going to be a gift shop with some toilets, and then some toilets on the outside here. Haven't quite decided what this building's going to be yet. That's tomorrow me's problem. I do want some shops here, because this is going to be front facing, and then the pathway needs to split down too. Now this is going to completely change the look, feel and the layout and the flow of the park, but that's okay because we always knew this was going to happen, so I've kind of been designing around that for the future. So the first area is the path is going to come down this way, and then the second one, the path is going to come down this way past a new train station, the first one since 1930, and then come into what will be the future pirate area. Now you will also spot there is a ride that's gone in, so yes, we now have some cable cars, so that means I need to do some work the other side of the lake as well. Don't know if I'm going to get a chance to do that this week, but there does need to be a station the other side of the lake. And then I really don't want to do this bit. Car park. So we need a new car park, and I'm going down the whole Thorpe Gardenland car park route on this one. So I just, these like weird liney type stuff, this is all of my planning for roadways and stuff, so this is all going to make sense when it goes down. But essentially what's going to happen is they want to come through this way round to the back, and then you're going to load from the back to the front, or front to the back should I say, for the car park, and then the road will come back round this way and then come out to a new road junction that I need to put in here. We'll have disabled parking here, we're going to have coach parking here, minibus parking here, staff parking here, and then yes, we also need to deal with the maintenance shortage, because that's a serious thing too. So this is going to be almost like a staff officey type warehouse thing, and then these are going to be two warehouses. I am going to do another maintenance bit, but that's another episode. I think I've got enough to be getting on with, right? So that's how we're looking from the top. Oh, I don't know how this is going to turn out, but I'll see you in a bit. Alright, you guys, get ready because we've got one massive, that's what she said, incoming. This is huge. And I mean, this episode has already taken me longer than the last 2 episodes combined, and I'm kind of at the point where I should force myself to stop and talk about it, because otherwise I'd have too much to talk about. And I mean, this is already what we've achieved. I'm kind of already at that point now, right? But look, it's coming together so well. And I mean, the size of the area doesn't daunt me. This isn't the biggest part of the build I've done, and the car park itself is relatively low maintenance when you actually get to doing the car park. It's just all of this stuff in the middle, because there's so much to do. And what you're going to see, by the way, is a lot of buildings in varying degrees and states of dress, right? So there's going to be some that are pretty much finished, like the ticket offices, and some which are just me thought dumping. So we're going to start with something that's looking good, right? I love how these have turned out. They're so cute. Everything that I'm doing at the moment has to be respectful of the Royal Mile's history, right? There's a design style that we've had since the 1930s, and I'm trying to stay faithful to that. But I'm also having to be mindful of area bleed, so this goes into the Arthur area and also into what will be the future pirate area. So there has to be a certain design style that if you draw a Venn diagram between history, pirate and Arthur, the bit in the middle is what the entrance area has to look like. So that's kind of what I'm going for here. But I love how these turned out. They're just so cute, and they are very Dorney Park. I don't know what bothers me about them from the front, but from the side they look awesome, and then from inside they're done. So there you go. This is what they look like on the inside. Now, I wanted to have these done on the inside. I don't have to do much more touching up in here, and that's because I wanted to be able to just do one and then copy it across. There are some shortcuts, let's say, that I'm taking with this build, and there's a lot of copying and pasting of buildings that are already done that don't need to be unique. For example, the ticket offices and the toilets. So yeah, that's the ticket offices. Then we've got the turnstiles. This is very Alton Towers inspired. I didn't want it to be an Alton Towers copy. I really didn't, but I've somehow managed to do that. So I mean, turnstiles look like turnstiles regardless, don't they? I think what does it, I think it's the cue. It's the cue board. That's so, it's like 90s Alton Towers. But inside here, of course, we've got all of the turnstiles. It's all kitted out as I think I want it to be. I don't know if I'm going to put a ceiling in here yet. I think I will. I think it needs it. But for now, we've just got the exposed beams. But we do also have the gates. If I've got the right camera, there you go. So we've got the gates at the top here. They would, of course, be open and closed when the park is open or closed. So yeah, so those are all in. The toilets themselves, Chacho toilets, you're getting 2 for 1 special this week because you've got 2 lots, even though they are just a copy of each other. Anyway, you've got your men and your women toilets on the left and the right hand side, and then this is what they're looking like inside here. So pretty typical for a 90s toilet. But again, I'm having to stay true to the original Royal Mile design. So that's why we've got the Lido brick on here and the tiles that are on the floor and stuff. So yeah, staying true and faithful to that design. But there you go, there's the male and female toilets. And then I've just started to do all of like the dirt work around the area, because I wanted to start to get a feel for what the shape of the area is going to be. I didn't want to get carried away and start to do all the curbing. I could cut corners on this, right, and use the in-game curbs, but I think I actually want to custom curb it because I'm a little bit mad. So then we've got the fountains in here. These are coming together quite nicely. I did originally try and lower the terrain and then have the water, but for some reason the available water level is too low. It just didn't look like a fountain. So I've just done the same technique I do for the rapids. It's just blue concrete. I need to, of course, put the fountain and stuff in to make it look decent. But hey, these are all right focal points, right, for the actual plaza area. So I'm all right with it. I am all right with it. Then, of course, you've got the other toilets here. You're probably noticing by now there's a bit of a thing with colour going on. Like these turnstiles looked a little bit Spanish when I was doing them, and I was like, how am I going to make the area look less Mediterranean? Because it was all very terracotta and it was all very plaster and stucco, right? So I thought, hey, colour, that's what we do. So I've sort of, again, sticking true to the Royal Mile original colours and the Chacho colours and stuff. And then we've got a gift shop here. I love the shape of this building. This is turning out quite nicely. I don't know what it's inspired by actually, but it's definitely there's definitely some kind of inspiration going on in here. It's very Western. Inside, it's just a gift shop. There'll be a low ceiling and stuff in here to hide the beams. It's a shame we can't do like proper roofing and hiding stuff, but hey, it's fine. So that's the gift shop. There's nothing particularly special there. Then I started the idea of the food units along here. Again, keeping that similar style, so making sure that it bleeds into the area as well, but also using the colour. So I think I started over here. This is the first shape. Inside here, I have done absolutely nothing to it. Nothing at all, and it's because I haven't got an inspiration to do it. That's why that will come to me over the next couple of days. But then we've got this bit here. This suddenly came to me. I didn't know how I was going to make this dog leg work, but actually I've made it work by doing this bit here. It looks pretty alright actually. The colours are alright. They kind of match what I wanted it to do. The rough brick is true to the Royal Myle original style, and it also doesn't really interrupt the view of the woody behind it. So yeah, that's kind of what I was going for. I'm happy with that. And if you look through this way, you've got the rest of the sight lines that are coming through and whatever. So yeah, we're all right. And of course, we've just then carried this on. Now, I didn't want this to be a carbon copy of the right-hand side. I did want this to be different. So that's why we've got a slightly different design. Garish colours and stuff. That's the order of the day, right? And we've got guest services. This, I think, at the moment is probably my least favourite building. I didn't want this area to be so considerately thought out that everything made sense. So the guest services building also doubles up as the locker building, but the guest services is where you would also buy all of your annual passes. When we get a hotel, it'd be where you book your hotel spaces and stuff. So again, inside here, this is just a thought dump for now. I need to actually do the kitting out and making this all make sense. I need to put all of the usual stuff that you find in here, right? But hey, it's all right. I like the colours in here, actually. It's quite warm. It's quite friendly. It does what it needs to do. The fascia, the front, took on a couple of different personalities. I don't know which I'm going to include in the time lapse, but I ended up changing the windows and stuff. Again, I wanted these to feel a bit more consistent with the turnstiles and the ticket offices and stuff. So that's what I've done here. But yeah, it's cool. Then we've got the sky ride, the chairlift, the cable cars, whatever you want to call it. This sort of changed a little bit when I was doing it. I did originally think that these were going to be open and exposed and have beams and stuff. But when I started putting this in, I was like, actually, the rough brick works in this capacity, so let's just keep it like that. And actually, when you come down this way and look through the maintenance area and whatever, then this all starts to make sense, because you won't be able to get through underneath the beams and stuff. So it's now solid. And then of course I've just put this flower bed in so I can put trees in and hide the maintenance area from the queue line and from the exit, right? Because you don't want to break the immersion. Oh, so much to talk about. The train station is, I don't think I want to do any more to this, just a bit of touching up and stuff. I want to remain faithful to the other train stations. I could put a cover, I could put a building, I could do all of that stuff to it, but actually I don't think that feels right, not in this location, so we'll keep that as it is. And I've done the level crossing and in there. And then the last bit to show you is just the maintenance area stuff. So this is the staff unit. This is basically just going to be one massive huge warehouse that's just been kitted out with a couple of offices and of course the canteen area for all of the staff of the park. So I've just started to make this into a kitchenette, and serveries and all of that sort of stuff is all in here. Again, it needs all of its fine details. It needs kitting out, it needs decorating, it needs everything. This is just me thought dumping how I want the layout and how I want it all to work. Likewise with the offices. This is, by the way, very inspired by Legoland Windsor's HR office, so this is very, very similar. So I'm happy with this. This is looking all right. And then of course these two, leave it on a high, Chacho, because these two warehouses are not unique. I dragged these in from Reggae Lake, so I use these quite a bit. They're just out of the box warehouses and stuff. And then outside here, I've done the car park, started to do the car park. So there's the coach park, there's the minibus park, and then I've started to bring the road round this way. So there's lots and lots of work to do in this area, and I haven't done the staff car park yet. So I think I've talked enough. That's probably 10 minutes, right? See you in a minute. Oh, you guys, you didn't think I could put it off, did you? But don't worry, there were times when I didn't think so either. But here we are, brand new, massive entrance. And I do keep finding tiny little things to tweak here and there. Not everything is perfect, but as we know, the chase of perfection is the enemy of good. I love how this has turned out so far. I mean, it's pretty much everything I envisioned it to be and more. And I mean, it's just this huge project that now finishes this part of the park, and I absolutely adore it. And look who's been busy. Thank you, Spike. Yeah, Spike has come back with another sign for us. It was sent to me a couple of weeks ago. It's perfect for the year 2000. So yes, thank you, thank you. I know I'm not quite using it in the right context. I think this is supposed to be wall mounted, but this is just the perfect area entrance to the car park, right? Forgive the forgive the LOD detail there. And by the way, the game is now officially tanking. That's how you know that this project was big, because look at the state of this performance now. I think I've lost about 3 FPS just by adding this entrance, and it's not even an intense entrance, it's just slowly but surely dragging the park down. I don't even know where to begin showing you around, because there is that much to show you. So just to give you a bit of an overview, here's the staff area, here's the main plaza area, here are of course all of the car parks, this is the main entrance roadway in, and I've gone for this really weird like strategy. This definitely wouldn't work with this zebra crossing. This is an absolute safety nightmare, but it's okay, it's the year 2000. We haven't quite started to drive cars into people yet, so we're all right. So the idea is you've got the disabled car park here, which has got easy access to the plaza, and all your cars and buses would come this way. Buses would then filter off into this far too small car park. This is far, far, far too small for the number of coaches you would expect, and I am okay with that. You've then got the overflow car park for buses and mini buses, and then all of the cars would continue this way, and then they filter down as you go along. And yes, there are some questionable distances going on here, and that's deliberate. Thorpe Park car park, I am looking at you squarely in the eyes. So there is a precedent set for all of that, but yeah, and then eventually you come out this way, and then you loop round. Yeah, you loop round here. So this is the main plaza. Then, guys, there is just so much to show you. I don't even know where to begin, right? But this is the main plaza, and yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. It just feels exactly as I wanted the future Royal Mile Plaza to look like. Just look at it. Yes. Okay, so ticket offices, they are all done. I've just a few tweaks. I've figured out what it was that was bothering me about this wall. It was the lack of lights, so I've put the lights in. Oh man, this game is just performing horribly now. I definitely need a new computer. I've just sold myself a whole new computer. So yeah, we've got the guys in there now. So they're all sitting there, all pretty, selling tickets and stuff. Happy days. And then the same with this side too. And then we come over to the toilet area. So here are toilets, Chacho toilets. They're all done inside here now. There we go. So nothing really special in here, right? It's just toilets. That you know how I do my toilets by now, but I know that you guys like it when I do the toilets. But this is how the building looks from the outside, exactly as I wanted it. In the background, you've got the staff buildings. They are kind of hidden by trees and kind of not hidden by trees, and that is absolutely perfect. Then we come to the turnstiles. So here are the turnstiles. I've used the font again, so I've stripped the font out from Spike's new sign and just used it on the wall. I added this quite early, actually. It was in the last update. I just hadn't shown you and stuff. But yeah, these are the whoops, that's not the turnstiles. Now they're the turnstiles. Oh, yes. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. And then you walk through this way and you get to the fountains. So I know that the fountains are overshooting the wall, and that's why we've got the pebbles here. This is the whole purpose. It's supposed to overshoot the wall. It's a bit of an artisty year 2000 kind of thing. But yeah, love how they turned out. Where to go next? Guest services. So there's our guest services building. I kept this nice and simple. I didn't want this to be any more than this on the sight line. But when you actually go inside, there we go. So you got all of your guest servicey type stuff. This looks very different, doesn't it, from the last update? I wanted to have recess lighting and recessed ceiling here, so that's why we've got the grey, which is slightly lower, the green, which is in the middle, and then the red, which is right at the top. I wanted this to have like an interesting ceiling combination, so that's what I've done here. And then of course you've got all of your usual desks and whatever in here. This is where you'd buy your annual passes and all of the usual gubbins. So yep, that's what we've done there. Come back out to the plaza, and we come across to our other shops. So we're in the year 2000, and it's like the era of obnoxious branding everywhere. Now, the Royal Mile wanted to still have obnoxious branding, but they also wanted to still be subtle with it. Not exactly subtle when you look at the cow in the window, but it's respectful to the Royal Mile's history, and that is the whole idea. So we come inside here, and then you've just got the neons, and you've got the black walls, the pink and the blue. As you've seen with the performance, I've actually had to strip back some of the interiors. I had all sorts of visions for all sorts of stuff in here, but the performance really is starting to suffer, so I need to save some of it because we've still got 23 years to get through. And then we come over this way to the burger place. So we haven't seen the brand that I created, and I used to use this in Rollercoaster Tycoon 3. Eat It is my brand, and then there was also drink shops called Drink It, and then gift shops called Buy It. So this is the Eat It version of that, and it's just an American diner. But inside here, yes, it's all looking dinery. Again, I had to keep it nice and simple in here. And by the way, if you haven't already noticed, there's music. So the park has been pretty much devoid of music all of this time, and they're going for innovation now that they've put the stuff in. Of course, ride music and stuff would have existed by now, but yeah, the Royal Mile is now starting to put area music in for ambience. So yes. Then we come to our next shop, by the way, the Chacho Coffee Co. Should I do a Jacksepticeye and start my own coffee brand called Chacho Coffee Co? Let me know in the comments. That might be my $1 million idea. That's going to pay for my new computer. So inside here, I wanted this to be almost like 2000s modern, but again, I had to keep this simple in here. So this is why this is looking a bit like bland, but actually I quite like how this is. I think I wanted this to be a bit more of a staging area than just flat area. Maybe I'll come along and change this, but again, like I say, I keep finding things I want to tweak, so I have to stop at some point, right? So but yeah, I love the sign. The sign is just so random, it just works. It's just so like hideously working. And then on the back wall, I just wanted to have some kind of feature art and stuff going on. So yeah, we're good to go there. And then this is how it sits on the sightline. And then we come across to the gift shop. So here's the gift shop. And again, it's all finished. I had to, once again, keep the interior nice and simple. So I just kitted out with some extra signs and some lights and stuff. So I won't bother going into too much depth. But I made the effort on the outside here. And I love how this now sits just in that spot. Absolutely perfect. Now what I do need to do is bring the path around this way, as I had always promised to, but there's a reason that I'm not going to tell you why, but I need to do something that just, you know, sort of makes that make sense. So there's the interior toilets sitting there on the sightline. So again, the plaza stuff. Plaza, by the way, I have just used the red brick or the pink brick, so this would be like herringbone brick. I've tried to make it look like it's the new brick, so there you go. Oh, guys, there is just so much to show you, isn't there? And then you've got the cable cars. I love how this just sort of like juts out. It feels like it sits on the sightline at ground level back here. And then the hill comes down this way. And it's just on the side of a hill. I love it. I absolutely love it. I haven't done the other station yet, by the way, because next week I'm doing work over in that area. So I kind of thought I'm going to park that and just do it all as the same piece of work. So for now, this is the area. It works. I'm all right with it. I am totally all right with it. Here's the lower station then, so the new station we put in. I've just made it traditional to the other stations. As I said in the last update, I didn't really want to do some kind of like building and stuff in here. I just wanted to keep it nice and simple. So herringbone brick all along the pathway here. Open up the area, make it feel clean. Job done. Happy days. That's all it needed. Staff area then. This is the like the last bit to really show you. So cluttered out this area. I haven't done inside the warehouses and stuff. I've just kept them as they are, but cluttered out this area because it is a working maintenance area. And then we've got a Royal HQ. So we walk in through this way, and I've just done a bit of decorating and stuff on the walls and all along the ceilings. And then we walk around this way, and then you've just got this massive corridor. Realised there weren't enough fire exits in the building. A building of this size would probably have 3 or 4 exits, so I've added another 2 exits, and there's one right at the end there. And then inside the office here, this is now a fully working office space, as it would be, so I'm happy with that inside there. And then the other office space that we've got, come on. The other office space we've got is in through there. I've had to just block off the toilets for now because, like I say, there's something in this building that causes a crash whenever I do too much, and it's an hour to load the park, so you lose a lot of time. But then inside here is the canteen cafe area, so this is where all the staff would go. And I have also made sure that there is a staff access point to the park here. So here are the stairs, and then there's the security gate and all of that gubbins. And then the actual car park itself is just all now tarmacked over, and all the lines and stuff are in, and everything is all good. And I mean, I could spend another 11 minutes showing you even more stuff that I've done, but hey guys, I think you've done well. There's still plenty to show you when we do the final tour. So thank you so much for getting to the end of the episode. I really do appreciate it. If you like this, let me know in the comments below, please, because it always helps. So we're over this side next week. We're doing some touching up work with some rides and whatever, and I need to do the other station. So that's where we are next week. So have yourselves a good week. Please look after yourselves. I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye.